So the number one question that I've gotten that I want to speak to you about today in today's video is, I'll go to my board. Chris, what would be your number one piece of advice that's helped lead to your success? Now, first and foremost, I want to say thank you to everyone that filled out a recent survey I sent out, giving me more information about what you want to learn and questions you can ask me so I can actually deliver what you want most right now. And this is one of the questions that have come through. So it's a really good question. It's really important. It's quite a, like there's so much stuff in the weeds around business success that you're like this technique, that technique, how do you do this, how do you do that? And it's all really low level stuff, right? It's kind of like the in the trenches stuff, and really it's the stuff really up in the helicopter, like 1,000 feet above, that is the glue to everything that you take action on. Now, what I mean by that is some people can have strategies, techniques, the same strategies and techniques as person A and person B, and person A can have massive success and person B can have no success or little success, and even though they have the same weapons and tools. But really, it's more to do with the helicopter stuff, the glue to it all, right? Now, such a good question. It made me kind of sit for a second and think, okay, what would be the number one piece of advice? Because it's to try and narrow it all down to just one piece of advice is difficult, but it is powerful. It's a powerful question because it makes you kind of get rid of all of the low level and the mid level things and just think about what is the most highest level piece of advice or thing that I believe that has led to me being able to have the level of success in multiple businesses that I have. And I hope that this is not a video about me at all. This is more about what I believe has led to my success, that I believe that I can educate other people on to use so that they can have the level of success they want to get to. Now, whether that's the level of success that I've gotten to, whether it's lower, whether it's higher, that none of that matters, right? Now, I was kind of sitting there pondering on the question, and probably the most important thing that kind of popped up and it's top of mind is this quote that I literally have behind my computer here. I'm at my stand-up desk, and there's a reason why it sits behind my computer, right? The reason why it sits eyeline there, and I was thinking, what would it be? And boom, the thing that I've put right in front of my eyes day in and day out, that I literally, as I'm looking at my computer screen, I can see over the top. Now, it's not beautifully framed. It's not something that cost me thousands of dollars or whatever. It's just something that I've stuck on the wall for a purpose of sitting behind like my eyes view, and always top of mind for me, consciously or unconsciously, right? And the quote is, I win more than I lose, and it is for this reason I don't fear taking decisive, calculated, powerful decisions. And I'll repeat that again, because it's quite a mouthful. I win more than I lose, and it's for this reason I do not fear taking decisive, calculated, powerful decisions. Now, the wording, every single word in that quote is there for a reason, right? I win more than I lose. So knowing that I win more than I lose, like in life, you only need to win more than you lose, right? Win more often than you lose to have mammoth success and be ahead of the average, right? And be like top 1%, top 2%, whatever it might be, right? You only need to win more than you lose. And the context of that is it's not about never losing. It's about putting the chips in your favor to win more than you lose. Like taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back is not a problem, right? Or taking 5 steps forward, 1 step back, right? You will lose. You will make losses. You will make mistakes. But as long as you win more than you lose, you're ahead. And as long as then you go again, and you go again, and you go again, and you go again. And most people who stay stagnant and don't get the level of growth they want or get to the level they want to is because they're afraid to screw up one thing. And so they do nothing, right? Because they're like, oh, well, I don't want to lose, so I won't play the game, right? And it's like, well, no, you've got to play the game. And you've got to set it up in a way that you know you're going to lose, you expect to lose because you're taking shots, you're taking action, right? But you're setting it up in a way that you're going to win more than you lose. So any losses are not a problem. They're a learning to your further and future successes. And that's how over a long period of time, if you're sitting at the table of life and you're consistently putting your chips on the table and you're winning more than you lose, that's how you come out ahead, massively ahead, right? And the next part of it, and it is for this reason, I don't fear taking decisive, calculated, powerful decisions, right? Once again, all the words are there specifically for a reason. I do not fear. I do not fear losing because I know I win more than I lose. And I don't fear taking decisive, like fast action, right? Not sitting on things, mulling on things. Decisive means like taking action today, taking action now, not sitting on things that could be done today and thinking, oh, I might do it tomorrow. I might sleep on it. I might let it go over the weekend and rethink about it and end up never doing it, right? I take decisive action. And that's a very important piece. A lot of people who don't get to the level of success that they should or they want to be is because they don't have the ability to take make decisive, powerful decisions about their future and their life today, like on the spot, right? But taking decisive, calculated, powerful decisions, right? So it's not about just gambling away and taking stupid decisions. Making stupid decisions, right? Or overly risky, non-mitigated, not watching your upside is bigger than your downside, right? If you're ever making decisions in business, if your upside's much higher than your downside, you're in the right place. But when your downside's very, very high and your upside's very low, it's a stupid decision. You shouldn't make it, right? So it's about making fast, decisive, calculated, right? Look at the upside to the downside, the risk to the reward, right? Powerful decisions, right? Powerful, big, moving decisions, right? It's not about really what am I going to have for lunch today? Is it chicken or fish, right? You should be able to make decisions like powerfully and decisively, but they're not really like big, powerful moves. You should be able to take them decisively, right? You shouldn't sit on decisions. And this is something when I was younger, I used to sit on decisions a lot and I used to mull on things, I'd sleep on it. And if anyone ever asked me something and put an offer to me, like for example, I spoke to a mentor back in the day and they were everything I ever wanted, right? And I knew this is what I'd want. And then they'd be like, all right, cool. So do you want to come on board? And I'd be like, yeah, I think so. Let me sleep on it, or give me the weekend, or let me come back to you in a week, right? I need to look at some things. I need to check some things. I need to do this or do that. Or alternatively, if I wanted to step into paid ads initially, right? I would think about it. I'm like, all right, I'd set up all the ads. I would have it all ready to go. And all I'd have to do is click the button to take it live. And then I'll be like, well, I'll give it the weekend. I'll sit on it. And then I'll think of the budget I'm going to spend on the daily for that ad campaign, right? And then the next day, I would change what I was going to do. And then the next day, I'd change what I was going to do. The next day, I'd go back to what I originally thought before even pressing the button, right? And I used to mull on things a lot. And as a result, I didn't take decisive, powerful action. I didn't make as many moves as I could have or should have because I was afraid to lose, right? I didn't look at it in a way of, well, actually, losing's not bad as long as I'm winning more, right? Because that allows me to make more moves than anyone else. And the more moves I can make, right? If I can make 10 moves and fail at 2 and I've succeeded at 8, I always beat the person that can't even get out of the blocks because they're afraid to lose on their first move, right? I've made 8 and that person hasn't even made 1. I've made 8 wins, 2 losses, and that person hasn't even made 1 win or 1 loss, aka they're at 0, right? And that's the worst place to be. So the point being, right, something that I became self-aware on, and it was a natural tendency for me to make slow decisions and think things and overthink things and overcomplicate and overanalyze. And then I'd come up with a new plan and a new structure. And then 2 days later, I'd go back to what I had and so on and so forth. And it was something that I had to work on, right? Self-acknowledgement, self-awareness of, a weakness of myself. And that's what everybody needs to do. You need to look at yourself and go, okay, have a level of self-awareness and go, okay, this thing that I do, is that helping me or hindering me, right? And if it's something that's weak in your skill set or hindering you, it's something you need to focus on working on, right? And that was something that held me back, right? And I could give you stories after stories after stories where literally I'd stay up till like 2 or 3 a.m. trying to figure out a plan to solve some problem. And then by 3, working on it from the morning till 3 a.m. and at the end of 3 a.m., waking up the next day and literally going back to the first thing that I had at the start of the day. And it's just like, well, that was a complete waste of time and energy, right? I didn't have that skill. And so I had a mentor who challenged me to say, look, this is something you're going to need to do and need to work on and develop that skill and kind of like do the reps with the muscle and build it stronger to be able to make faster, more powerful decisions decisively, right? So there's kind of 2 skills in there. There's kind of 3 points in there. 1, I win more than I lose. So it's the mindset of knowing that, not fearing losses as long as you win more and you set things up to succeed, right? And then the second piece of it is the skill to be able to make decisive, powerful decisions. So recognizing what are powerful decisions and what are like almost nothing decisions that shouldn't really take up your energy. Like what are the 80-20 moves, the things that move the dial massively, and that's what you spend your focus on. What are the powerful pieces? The other piece is how to make decisive, quick decisions, right? And the third piece is how to be calculated around your decisions, right? So it's a skill set to be able to make fast decisions. It's a skill set to be able to identify what are powerful decisions. It's a skill set to be able to then calculate those decisions and go, okay, what's my upside? What's my downside? Great, this is a smart decision or it's a dumb decision. If it's a dumb decision, decisively move it on. If it's a smart decision, decisively move towards it, right? In a calculated way. And that makes sure that I win more than I lose. So hopefully that makes sense. This is such an important quote to me. Hence why I've had it on that wall behind my computer. I'm in my office. I've got one at my home as well. And I put it at mine's, like my eyesight, right? And we all know that when you're doing goals, or you're doing things subconsciously, you want to put things up in front of you everywhere where you see it consciously or unconsciously so that it sticks into your brain. I've had it there for a couple of years now, and I will not be taking it down anytime soon. So I'll repeat the quote, and that'll be it for me today. I win more than I lose, and it's for this reason I don't fear taking decisive, calculated, powerful decisions. All right? This is my answer to the question of, Chris, what's the number one piece of advice that I feel like has led to me getting to the level of success that I've gotten to, that I believe every single one of you could take on board to have a larger level of success and get to where you should be in life. Cheers.